Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. And it's just gonna be a little different. As you guys can see from the title, this is kind of a little call to action for gamers. So I recently watched a video on Jacksepticeye's second channel. For anyone who doesn't know, he does have a secondary channel. His video will be linked in the description. But basically, guys, it's talking about a campaign that is seeking signatures to present a petition to the European to the EU Parliament, basically, that would essentially try and prevent game publishers from just ending games. Like, you ever play a game and after a certain amount of time it just becomes unavailable or unplayable because it's been terminated by the company? This petition that is currently going around is aiming to try and prevent that. We're going to talk a little bit about what this campaign is, what it's done, what it can do, and what you can do to help kind of save some of our favorite games from just, aimlessly being discontinued for, no good reason. So, what is this cause? Have you ever had a game that you've loved, but suddenly it's just not available to play anymore because the publishers of the game decided they weren't going to support it anymore, or just ended it entirely? I've seen several games on console be taken off the stores or just labeled as unavailable for whatever reason, and I've seen this with many games even I've personally enjoyed playing, that they just aren't available for no reason, nothing, like just completely done. This petition aims to help prevent publishers from doing this so freely, especially since their actions are basically saying that, the products we bought have an expiration date, a date being whatever they choose it to be, which isn't really a fair thing. Like, it's not fair that a couple years down the line after a game you've bought and for dedicated so much time to, they just cancel. Now, I'm not saying that games are going to last indefinitely. That's definitely not an expectation or a real one that we realistically should have. But it's not fair to just say, hey, we made our money, so now we're done with this game. That's definitely not fair. What actions have been taken so far? On screen, you'll see everything the movement has tried so far and what their outcomes have been. As you can see, it's not good. Some of these aren't even surprising, like the outcome of Australia. Australia, for anyone who knows how the Aussie government works, will not be surprised in the least that they pretty much said they don't fucking care. Anyone who knows how to even handle anime and stuff like that in Australia will not be surprised in the least. So that's an outcome that really isn't surprising for anyone. So, what actions, what can the cause do, and what has it done so far? Right now, there is a movement called the European Citizens Initiative, who are currently collecting signatures to bring to the Parliament in Europe, the European Parliament, to address the issue and try to get some kind of protection for consumers, because this is a very big consumer issue. Because it's not, as I said, it's not fair to the consumer to buy a game. Now, I'm not saying buying it gives us automatic ownership. No, we get a limited license copy to have these products to own. But it's not fair that we're spending, for a lot of people when new games come out, $100 or more to get a game that some companies can decide a year to 3 years down the line they can just cancel. Like, it's not a fair thing. Right now, to even get the petition to the European Parliament, they need 1 million signatures, which you would think for the landmass of Europe would be a pretty easy thing to get. But it's not. Right now, as of recording this video on July 1st, 2025, Um, when I watched Jacksepticeye's video, which as I said will be linked in the description, he said that the petition was at just over 745,000 signatures of a million needed for this to go to the parliament. So it's a lot, but we're still about just over 200 plus thousand away from that million, which is actually quite crazy. Because there's just this mentality of gamers, we care, but not enough of them actually care about the issue, because we live in a very if it doesn't affect me, I don't care kind of mentality these days. And the thing is, as gamers, we may not all share the same genres or interests or, such things like that, but we all share the same thing. We all care about gaming. Gaming brings us together. Okay, once you're a Call of Duty player, then that shit just breeds toxicity. But okay, I have my jab at Call of Duty. You guys know I used to love Call of Duty. I'm not a Call of Duty fan anymore, but you guys know I used to love COD once upon a time. I have my jab. But once upon a time, we all cared about games. We all shared an interest and a passion. And these games still do that. They still bring communities together. They bring people from all over the world together. I'm a part of a massive international community. I've met people from so many different parts of the world who I consider really good friends. And gaming is what has brought us all together. So, I think right now, as gamers, as a community, I'm not just talking about my community. I'm talking about the gaming community. I think right now as a gaming community, a gaming collective, we need to come together and hold these publishers accountable. Because right now, this petition is for the European Parliament only. There's no real actions that can happen in North America or anything else like that. Because, as you saw in the stuff on screen, the provinces are too small to make any real difference. The federal government really isn't going to do anything. And, we're not going to talk about America. We are not talking about that crack shack. Right now, if we can even get just a European Parliament to do something, this could actually make a huge difference in showing game publishers you can't just take our money and run. You can't just hold us by the short and curlies and decide what is important and what's not. Now, I'm not saying, like I said before, I'm not saying that these games need to last forever. Like, that's just not going to... But this petition is for single-player games. I forgot to mention that at the start of the video. I should have put text at the start of this if I didn't already. Now you guys know. But it's for single-player games. And we've seen so many massive games have support stopped for them, like The Crew. The Crew was the biggest blow-up of unprecedented and unjustified game shutdown really I've ever seen. And there was no reason for it, other than the fact that they got their money and they didn't care. So, that's why I think it's so important that as gamers, we come together and have this stop being a thing. Because at the end of the day, this is not fair. Like, for anyone who never reads a TOS on a game, as a content creator, I have to read it because I have to be very mindful of my personal information. The TOS, Terms of Service, basically says that they reserve the right to terminate a game at any point, without notice, without reason, without anything. For any reason. While others, like Blizzard, right in their TOS, it says they have they reserve the right to terminate their game even for no reason. Like, it is literally in their TOS that they can do it with no reason whatsoever, besides they can just go, alright, we're done. Boop. Flip the switch, and there goes like 10 Call of Duty games. Which, frankly, is bullshit. That they can get away with this. And the thing is, there actually is a clause in the European Parliament law, in EU law, that protects consumers from unfair consumer agreements. And if we can get this petition to the Parliament, then maybe we can convince the European Parliament to act on this, because their law says you can't have an unfair consumer agreement. Like, that's against the European continental law, basically. It's not called continental law, but the European Union, it's Europe's a continent. This is the European Union. It's European law that other countries have to follow. So it's a continental law, and this in the dumbed down sense, in a way. So if we can get this petition to the Parliament, maybe we make a case strong enough to convince them that, hey, this is an unfair agreement. This is in violation of European law. This is something that should not be happening because it is unfair for something that we as consumers have purchased. So that's why, for me personally, I think this is such an important thing. Especially since us in North America, we can't do anything about it. Europe has the power to start leveraging and levying these game publishers to stop forcing our hands, basically, and taking away things that we enjoy. So how can you help? So, as always, guys, if you're not able to sign anything, like I've said in other videos, sharing information is key. Sharing information from my video, from Jack's video, and in the description of Jack's video, you'll find the original poster, Ross from Accursed Farms. He's a parody gaming YouTuber. If I remember to, I'll put the link to his video in the description. If not, Jack's video, I guarantee will be there, and you'll be able to find it in the description of Jackie's video. So other than helping, guys, if you're a European citizen, you can sign the petition and help get it closer to the threshold. We have until July 31st, 2025 to get over the 1 million threshold. If we can get to the threshold of 1 million, then it goes before the Parliament. If you are not from the European Union and you know somebody who is, then share these videos with them, ask them to watch it, and ask them if they're willing and able to sign the petition to get this before the Parliament. Because this is something we definitely need more of. It's more accountability and more, hey, we're not going to keep giving you money. Because that's the thing. Right now, gamers are divided. Gamers are not in the same mindset as we used to be of holding, developers and publishers accountable. Because right now, we get mad over publishers and developers doing something stupid, but they don't care because the people don't stay mad. They know if they release another project, the anger of the people is going to go away. That is just going to disappear, and any backlash they get will be gone within a month. And no one can say that's not true, because it is true. It has happened and continues to happen because people are easily distracted. People get distracted by the shiny new game that's coming out in 2025 or 2026 or 2027, shit like that. But that doesn't matter when, after a few years, games we enjoy get taken away. Look at The Crew. There was zero reason to cancel The Crew, and the publishers for that game did it. Even though it was still a pretty fucking new game at for its time. And they just went, nope, bye. I know for me, there's been several games I've wanted to go back and play that have been cancelled with no reason, no justification. You can still find them on the PlayStation stores, but they're just gone. They're not on Steam, they're not available, and it's just bullshit. And even DLCs for games like the first Ark game aren't available anymore. But yet people who bought them previously can still buy them. But other people like my sister and her friends who are playing the first Ark game can't buy them anymore. So anyone who's played the DLCs who owns them are the only ones who have them. So where is that fair? Why did these people get to keep those DLCs and we can't even buy them? So where is that fair? It's not. I usually don't do, consumer political videos. It's usually not my thing unless it's something that is absolutely, grinding my gears that I highly do not agree with. And this is something I definitely do not agree with. I do not agree with publishers being allowed to do this. It is ridiculous. And that's why I think, as a community, whether you're from the gaming community, my community, or other communities, we need to come together and help get this petition to the floor in Parliament. Because these publishers need to be held accountable and be shown you can throw all the fancy, flashy games at us you want. We're not going to have these issues go away until you acknowledge our feelings and acknowledge the fact that what you're doing is wrong and partially violating European law. We need to get this to the Parliament so they can see for a fact that this is wrong. So, that's my video, guys. That's my rant. That's me asking you as the community to come together to help get this petition to Parliament. So, if you're willing and you're able and you know people who can, please share this video, share Jack's video, share Ross's video with as many people as possible. I'm going to be sharing these videos and this information regularly until the end of the month because we need to get this to Parliament as soon as possible. We were at, I believe, as I said at the time of recording this, about 735,000 plus signatures out of 1 million needed. We don't have many left realistically if you break it down. So every person who you know who is from Europe who can sign the petition, share it with them. But with that said, guys, thank you guys for watching. For everyone who sees this video and shares it, I hope you guys can help make a difference and help get these publishers to be held accountable for their capitalistic bullshit and hopefully preserve the future of gaming going forward. And yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. And as I said, I'll be sharing this information regularly with the video and stuff like that. So share this with everyone you can. And I'll definitely catch you guys in the next one. And peace, guys. Stay safe. And yeah, thank you for your support if you're able to. Let's try to make a difference, guys.